But you know what else? I don't give a fuck.
Now, Greg Caton talking that bullshit.
So let's talk about that night. The night that Biggie gets killed. You said that a guy named Poochie killed Biggie.
Right.
Explain to me who Poochie was.
Poochie, a gang member of Compton, went by two names, Darnell Bolton or Wardell Faust. He was a close associate of Suge's, well known within the Mob Piru gang circle, would be well known to Mob James and others, and somebody that was very violent and had already been shot himself, had already committed shootings. He was like a go-to guy if you needed something taken care of. So it was natural when we heard about him being the one that Suge solicited to do the murder. You know, it just made sense.
So you're saying that Suge told Poochie to kill Biggie?
Indirectly. After Las Vegas, Suge ends up in jail. And so now the only way that Suge can communicate with Poochie, you know, Poochie's an ex-convict. He can't come to the county jail and have a conversation with Suge. And so Suge uses an intermediary, much like Puffy used Zip. Suge uses a baby mama of his named Teresa Swan, and has her deliver the message and make the solicitation for Poochie to get at Biggie.
They, you know, let's listen here. If they could have charged Suge with any of that shit, bro, that clown ass motherfucker, what's his name? Caden said he did, or the people he sent people to do that, they would have did that. Do you think they wouldn't have did? They solved the murder. They didn't do that. Ain't nobody been charged. If ain't nobody been charged, it ain't ain't nobody been arrested or anything like that. Ain't no case been solved. Poochie ain't do it on his own. He said Suge sent him to it. He had proof Suge paid him. So why Suge was never charged? Suge ain't had nothing to do with that shit. Suge ain't had nothing to do with that shit. Yeah, nigga. That's the way I feel. Free Suge Knight. Because he was helping all these. He put people on how to get money and how to get their money. Everybody was getting raped. And sometimes you got to be nasty in order to straighten out shit. You can feel however you want to feel. Because if he wanted us dead, we would have been dead in LA a long time before that night, bro. He knew where me and Puff was staying at. He knew where Big Nim was staying at. He knew the studio we was going to. He wouldn't have waited the last night that we was supposed to have been in LA. Why? Pick these niggas off. You got to think, bro. You got to think. The diversion, that's all police. The police could only make that diversion. Had everybody on one side, we by ourselves on the other side. The lies they trying to tell in these stories, they trying to make it seem like that, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I said the car, we blew the light. Lucy's them stopped at the light. The car was already at the light parked. Not one of those programs that you saw, all these producers and everything like that, trying to say, oh, the car was driving next to it, and then there's a drive-by. No, it was a plant. They didn't want to believe the plant because now, where's all the surveillance tapes around there? The tapes from across the street. The tapes from the side building. The tapes from the museum. Where they at? They still had videotape back then, y'all. Because if you had insurance, you had to have some kind of surveillance. What about the tapes from across the street? They got that shit and destroyed it. That's why the FBI found that those files buried, and the lead detective cat's gonna say, "I forgot I had them." Come on, man. Come on, man.
After Tupac gets killed, Biggie gets killed. Was it about a year later?
6 months.
6 months later. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's lots of stories around that.
Correct.
From what you understand, do you know anything about that whole situation?
Nothing but what I heard. And like I said, and I always said it, and people said, well, Ice-T said it's dry snitching or something like that when I said that I believe the story of what murder rap put in their investigation from murder rap, the Greg Cadians theory. I don't believe what Randall Sullivan is pushing or Russell Poole or anything like that.
Can you put me up to speed?
I don't want to speak on it because it has to do with the theory of Greg Cadians and a guy by the name of Wardo Falks Pucci.
Aha, right. Right.
That's the story, I believe.
I had a talk with Greg Kading about this, and I have my notes. So according to Greg Kading, Pucci killed Biggie.
That's the story, I believe.
And Pucci was an associate of Suge?
Whatever the story is that Greg is pushing is what I believe.
So what is Simon Says Publishing?
Simon Says Publishing is a music publishing company that I own.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was a rumor you tried to take the publishing from Death Row and transfer it into Simon Says Publishing.
Picture Plenty Pussy, what's up with you, boy? Big D out there in London. Yes, my man Alex. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my whole thing about it is man, you know, I don't know all the other shit with the Suge stuff. I don't know with the stuff with the Dre and all that other stuff. I hear stuff just like everybody hears stuff and everything like that. But trust and believe, bro. Trust and believe. Suge was not sending nobody out there to kill Big and them. It's plenty of time. They could have killed me and Puff and them plenty of times when we was in LA. It was just that easy. What happened to Big was a planned professional hit, and it was like police did it. But what happened was they didn't think I was going to be up on mine. And I saved the wrong motherfucker. You know, okay, well, I ain't going to say that. I was paid to be out there for Puff, and I did my job. I did my job. And one of the greatest rappers died that night by me doing my job, saving this Diddy nigga.
tomorrow's a big day for you. If you wanted to make a statement, I'd start with that.
It's like this. I mean, you know, in life, God has to say so in anything you do. And whatever it comes down to it, I'm always...
This call is being recorded.
And, you know, when I get where I'm going, I'll be able to get some medical attention because here I don't get no medical attention. It's been 4 years. I ain't been able to see my kids, talk to my kids, talk to anybody. No outgoing mail, no incoming mail, no visits, no phone, nothing. No medical, nothing. And, you know, but one of the good things about it, at least they got all the proof where the guys on the video, when they had to interview the witnesses, they told them, well, that's me right there picking up that gun. There was a gun there, and there was a gun there. And they also got the paper trail with all the checks and proof when they talked to the witnesses, saying that, you know, Dre came to them first and asked the two guys how much it cost to get rid of me. And they said, what you mean by get rid of him? And they said, kill him. And then you got them giving them personal checks to deliver the job. And you got the star witness saying that it was the next person hit, they get out. And he said, he told him, if you got paid, we all got paid, so let's do it, whatever. So, you know, it's those facts.
It's your understanding based on the evidence that Dr. Dre told the two guys that met you at the burger spot to kill you. That was
no. What I'm trying to say, based on the witness and the evidence, they talked to him. He told the two guys, how much would it cost to get rid of me? They said, what you mean by get rid of him? He said, kill him. That's when they start coming up with prices. Then the other guy, the director says, he bagging his play, and they got photos of the conversation to prove it. And then they said there was personal checks. They said when you get paid for working on a production company, the production company give you a check. Guys who was getting $150 a day from the production company, he gave guys $20 grand and even more in cash to kill me. It was a murder for hire case, and he gave him with a personal check, not his business check, not the production company check, or not universal check, a personal check.
You're being sentenced and you've agreed to a plea deal of over 20 years. People would say, why would you take a plea deal like that? You were about to go to trial. Why would you take a deal like that if you...
Well, this is the thing. Number one is this. You got to realize one thing. For me to hire an attorney, they got to get approved by a different judge, not the judge in front of it. Judge Ryan in a different court. They got to get approved by the DA, and they got to get approved by county council.
This call is being recorded.
Try to hire a lawyer, they say no, or they let them come see me one time, and that's it. And so when they gave me an attorney, he seen me 2 times in 8 months and he told me he went to this court and said if he needed help and other attorneys, they told him no. He says no way he can do my trial because he really don't know the case and he won't win. So if somebody stacked the deck against you to the point where they're not trying to fight for you and they won't let you get the attorneys you wish to have, what could you do?
Do you think you're going to see the light of day? If it's 20 years, I'm not
going to discuss my situation, but absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Of course. And I still got my appeal rights. So